But yeah, I'm going to switch over to some DS3 really quick, you guys. We'll just take a quick break as well before we start. But yeah, we'll start a new run. So what ended up happening last night, or yeah, I guess it was last night. I started up a run of DS3, Pyro no hit, and I got hit once. And it was to some random fucking guy that I normally run past. And I just decided I would kill him, and he killed, and well, he didn't kill me, but he hit me. And that's what happened. So yeah, we're going to play with Potasic tomorrow, I think. Today's Thursday, right? Gonna play tomorrow, but yeah, we'll start up a run. Actual resets now. Hopefully we can get it. I mean, this run won't take long. It might take a couple days, maybe, but I'll be back in a few minutes, you guys. I'm just gonna go grab something to eat and stuff. So, and then we'll start up a run. So, I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, thanks for waiting, you guys. I didn't mean to start the timer. All right. So surely we're good to get the run. Let's do it, dude. But yeah, we are so close yet so far last time. Like, it was so funny that I got hit in that way. I totally deserved it too, I guess. Yeah, what happened yesterday was I didn't get hit, like, I only got hit once, and it was to just some random enemy. And the enemy is one that I normally just run past, and it's perfectly safe to run past every time. The guy that started Cathedral. But I decided that I was just going to kill him with Great Chaos Fire Orb for whatever reason. I missed, and then he hit me after, so. And that was the only hit I took on the whole run, so. I mean, it's a good sign because I didn't get hit on anything else, but it's funny that I should have gotten the run there, but I didn't because I decided to try to kill an enemy that I never normally would, and I missed, right? It was the 2-in-1. I could probably do that 100 times, and I would never get hit by that, right? Because either, I mean, I could probably do that section 10,000 times and not get hit, because in the very small percentage of times that I would decide to randomly free him, I would probably hit. But then, you know, every other time, I don't know how many times I said, but the 9,995 times that I do it, I would just run past him like I always do, so. Jesus, see, someone asked if I ever get jump scared. The Souls games, that is how I get jump scared, when the boss does some extra attack when they're not really supposed to. That's weird. How disappointing was Augur? Honestly, it was basically what I expected, for the most part. I think I don't think it's as bad as people are saying. Just in my opinion, I don't think it's actually that bad. My biggest problem with the boss is the fact that we are playing it's a roguelike game, and you get the Storm Ruler, and it basically just, your build doesn't matter anymore, almost, right? The only thing that really matters is, did you get magic attack power up somewhere? Or, you know, something like that. There's no point in getting legendary weapons. There's no point in, you know, all that stuff. It just doesn't matter anymore, which is bad. That's the biggest problem, I think. The rest of the fight itself is pretty much just mediocre, I guess. I do like the weapon, like the Storm Ruler mechanics, though, actually, quite a bit. I mean, is it as good as the Serpent Hunter is in the Rykard fight, though? Probably not. So yeah, I mean, it's probably like a... Yeah, I don't know. Not great. Certainly not great. But I don't really hate it too much, though. I really don't. Night Rain aging like milk, you think so? I don't know about that. I mean, maybe, well... I don't know about that. Yeah, I kind of do think that they're starting with sort of the worst boss, just to, you know, then the next bosses are going to hit much harder, surely, because of that. Oops. Early game, like, Pyro is actually... The biggest issue I have with this route is that it's kind of slow, dude. It could be a routing issue. It also could just be that Pyromancy doesn't really start out. It's surprising, dude. Some of the early bosses with Pyro are much worse than I remember, actually. Like, Vort's bad. Watchers isn't bad, but at least with Sorcery. Like, Sorcery, you just blast Gundyr. You blast Vort. Blast Abyss Watchers. And, yeah. But Pyro, like, once we get past Wolnir, then things are starting to look pretty good, at least on this route. And yeah, there's kind of like a lot of early game setup with how we're doing this Pyro route with Sacred Flame and stuff. That's why I remember on any percent I just didn't even bother getting Sacred Flame. I don't think, because it's so slow. Or maybe I did. I don't know. I just think it's so much fun to use in this, and we also use it on Frida, which is pretty good for. So yeah, you could easily just do this run without Sacred Flame, like 100%. You don't need it. And it's quite slow. Thoughts on a Deacon-type Night Lord? I would have to think about what that would mean for a bit. Yeah, you're right. The splits are cut off at the top. I noticed that last time, but I just didn't fix it yet. Bad move starting with the worst bot. Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. I agree with that, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe they thought he was cool.
What on earth? Whatever is this about?
That's Jimmy's game we're talking about? No, I don't think so, dude. Maybe Jimmy definitely worked on it, though. Mara's better than Caligo? That is... They're both pretty bad, but no. There's no way, dude. Base Maris is terrible. I think I can throw 3 here. Maybe I could have even done 4. I don't know. No, I also don't think base Maris is better than Sewer Maris at all. I think it's a... No, I mean, I think the Everdark Maris is better. Because it doesn't really matter what build you have. Like, for the other Maris, it's a boring fight no matter what. Even if you did bring in range and stuff. Nice. Even if you did bring in an Iron Eye for that fight, it's not... Oh boy. It's not an engaging fight. Pat sabotage on this run, dude. Oh boy. This is not good. My cat is blocking my monitor. Let's see. This is like extra hard mode. I also can't see the chat anymore. so that's a rip. He's very interested by what is going on the screen right now. Trying to think of what went wrong on the last run. I remember the Wolnir was really bad. I mean, how could I forget? That Wolnir was really, really bad. So I'm going to start with the slower... Oh my god, the cat... Dude. The cat clicked my mouse, bro. I'm going to have to turn off my mouse or something. I'm actually going to lose this run because of this. This is crazy, dude. Okay, it's worth it. Oh, so I'm shooting that guy now. It's actually so funny. Okay, I gotta do this. Good thing we're early in the run. Like, this actually, if I'm late in this run, I'm gonna have to do something. If you want to see him, you can go back to the start of the stream, because I showed him earlier, but we are mid-run at the moment. But I guess I probably could. I can only see the top part of the chat, dude. No. He's just chilling now, so I don't want to disturb. He's basically totally blocking the chat, though. Co-op DS3. All bosses Pyromancy. Yes, surely, dude. Actual co-op run now. Input has been given by someone that is not me. Okay, I kind of need... I'm pretty sure this guy can sometimes throw bombs around the... Like, basically through that wall if he's close enough. Maybe? Gotta be careful of that. Paligo would be the last super boss. But what about... There's no plan for Fulgor, right? At all? Or, sorry, not Fulgor. I mean, Heal Store, I mean. Is there any plan for that? Because I think that would be sick if there's an enhanced version of him. But yeah, maybe they're just thinking he's already cool enough, or there's probably some lore reason, maybe, why they wouldn't do that. Breeze, thanks for the good luck, dude. Maybe DLC. Yeah, I wonder what the plan is for the DLC. I'm assuming at least they're gonna have another map. And I mean, would it be crazy to think that they're just gonna have a whole new set of bosses, right? Just 8 more bosses. I don't know what the plan is, but thought he wanted to get down, but I guess not. I sent her back, right? Did I send her back? I'm just not even paying any attention. No, I didn't even send her back.
Your time.
Here we go. Apparently new bots, new characters. Like, it almost sounds like it's just going to be a whole double of what the game already is, which it would be pretty good. That'd be pretty nice. Oh, boy. Jesus, dude. This run is so toast, man. There's just no way. He's straight up attacking the screen now, dude. This run is cooked. Yeah, PK'd my cat, dude. Yeah. Three maps, 28 new bosses. Oh yeah, I guess, yeah, probably they will add. That's a good point. More bosses from the Souls games. I just, honestly, I just want them to go crazy with it, dude. I just want them to put in basically every boss they've made that's at least decent. Which is most of them, right? I think they should just put in most of them. I'm not sure if they have any concern with adding named bosses like, you know, super iconic named bosses such as, I don't know, Gale or something like that, right? They put Nameless King in, though. But yeah, I think just go crazy with the night bosses so that, you know, we very rarely fight the same ones in, like, in a handful of runs. It technically isn't a named boss. Knew someone was going to say that. No, I mean, it can't be a 40... Well, it could be a $40 DLC, but the game was already 40 bucks, so it'd be kind of weird, but... Maybe. Just can't lock onto this guy, huh? Oh, you know what, dude? I have Steam Online right now. It's probably fine. I'll have to switch that at some point, though. I shouldn't get invaded here. Actually, you know what? Maybe I will get invaded. I'm going to have to fix that here, probably. Okay, I'm not being chased. No one's aggroed anymore. Gonna have to fix this. A little bit of a, you know, slightly illegal quit out, but who cares? I don't care. Yeah, because I think I'm actually not 100% sure, but I probably get invaded if I go to pick up the Pyro Tome. But I'm actually not certain of that. No, it's not that I was playing the game online. It's that I had Steam Online, so Hazel would have invaded me. So Oh boy. What, what do I do with my mouse, dude? Because I kind of need it to free aim stuff. But maybe I should just turn it off. I don't know what to do. This is a dilemma I have. Let's go on Wraith. How's it going, Kiva? G-Ian, dude. Yeah, the NPCs, yeah, they can definitely jump down after you. Yep. That's why I usually roll. Even once I get to the bottom, I usually start rolling just in case. Yeah, I fought the new boss earlier in the stream. A few times. Certainly not the best ever dark boss, but... I don't know. Oh, there he is. You can see him now. Really, this won't be distracting. Dude, this is a full-blown cat stream at this point. You know what? That's actually better than before. At least you can't press the mouse from there. Oh, now he's back. Oh god, dude, this is actually really bad. Mouse is turning. I'm just gonna turn it off, dude. You know what? Actually, getting cats as well has been devastating for my sound panels that I have. Like, they just love to climb them. But at least they're I mean, it doesn't, like, lose effectiveness, at least. That's the real loser. Yeah, my sound panels, dude, are kind of toast. No, surely that's Mind Goblin, dude. Mind Goblin. If I don't get the run now, dude, Hunter's gonna be fuming. Have to get the run now. Oh, yep. There he goes. He's at the top. Really, he can get down properly. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, sort of got down. I gotta show you guys him climbing. If I can, eventually. Pretty funny. But yeah, sound panels are not cheap, and they are not looking so good. But it's fine. Doesn't matter. Boss of Sword only run soon? I don't know. Probably soon-ish. Soon-ish. One's named Chi, the other one Tenjin, dude. That's crazy. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. I think so far so good. But yeah, this route is quite slow though. And I think for sure it will be slower than the sorcery, which is interesting because sorcery is generally the slowest one. But like I was saying earlier, it's kind of more about some of the decisions I've made during this route. You know, getting Sacred Flame is not needed, but you got to do a all bosses pyro run with Sacred Flame, right? So there's also, you know what, I was talking about this yesterday too. Hidden Body, we don't have access to it on Pyromancy because it's a sorcery, and I don't want to use it. But Hidden Body saves a lot of time as well. It saves from having to get patches, which is really big. And also just through the running sections, you can take better paths. Good shot. But yeah, that being said, a 3-hour all bosses run in this game is not... I mean, it's slow compared to what I normally do, but it's actually a pretty average time for all bosses no hit for most people in this game, so it's not actually like that bad. Power needs a ton of setup. Sorcery, you get Great Solar, good to go. Yeah, that's kind of true also, yeah. Yep, that's true. I guess just sorceries, you don't really have to go super out of your way for spells, right? Whereas Pyromancy, you kind of do. I mean, think about the entire Smoldering Lake section is we're just going there because we have a bunch of spells over there. The main spells on the run are all over there. Great Chaos Fire Orb, Sacred Flame. I guess that's it, but still. Yeah, the reason Ryzen is simply I don't really like Elden Ring PvP as much. I think invasions are worse. And I think the PvP balancing is worse. And it's just not as interesting to me as DS3 is. Would you use Pyro route in this new big run? No, I don't think so. It's just too slow for me. Yeah, the reason I'm doing all these spell runs is because, first of all, they're a lot of fun. But also, this is good D-Rust for that multi-game run. But yeah, the Twin Blade route is likely what I'll use. I think the Sunlight Straightsword route could work as well, but I think it's maybe a little bit too... First of all, it's about half an hour slower than the Twin Blade route. And it's maybe a little bit too complicated for what's really necessary, right? Like, I don't need to go crazy with buffs with early Dancer and stuff like that on a multi-game run. So... it's a good route, though.
Yeah. Do not pick.
Wasn't.
Keep hitting the Elden Ring buttons now. How fast would Miracles be? I don't know yet. I haven't routed it. I'm not sure. I think Miracles... First of all, there's just no way that spell runs can be as fast as melee runs. Oh, he's getting back up.
Manifestation.
I'm actually turning off my mouse, dude. I can't have that.
Farewell, Ashen One.
Here's turn off the keyboard too. Yeah, if I do that, it'd be probably fine. Yeah, but I'm not sure, Miracle. That'll be the next run, so we'll see when I do that. He's very small. He's only, I think he's only, like... How old is he? He's like 10 weeks old, maybe. Oh. It's going after my hair. I can deal with that, though. I can't, like, attacks mid-boss, maybe not. I can deal with this. Somehow not the most distracted I've been during no-hit runs. Or maybe it is, I'm not sure. Okay. Surely this will end well. This is crazy, dude. He's helping, dude. It's like Ratatouille. He's gonna start pulling my hair and tell me what to do. That's actually been my secret this whole time. What's he doing? I hear something. I'm gonna turn off my keyboard too. There we go. No memes, surely. Unless he, like, clicks my other mouse and ends the stream or something. That should be okay. Oh, he's attacking my mic. Oh, God, dude. I don't really like being on this side of this. I do like that, like, input read strat, but it's a little sketchy because you can sometimes just not, you can sometimes just do, like, the quick dagger swipes or literally any attack out of it. Okay. We rest here. Okay, so for Wolnir this time, I am not going to do the faster strat because that turned out to be a disaster last time. Because he gave me weird RNG, which happens when you're using Great Combustion on him because he just input reads. And, he pulled out sword and then the fight was a total disaster. So. So this time, I will do the old strat, which I honestly don't remember that well, but I think you just attack the right hand first. That's it. His right hand. Would normally free him this with keyboard, but I've turned it off. He actually left, so surely it's fine. I don't need the mouse, maybe. Just keyboard. It's good. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go get this large shard. I'm also gonna go... I mean, what I also could do is just go get the bonfire and then do the faster kill, and if he pulls sword or something, I just leave. Will I beat Quelaag? I think what people have done for Quelaag in Pyro DS1, I'm not saying I'm going to do Pyro only DS1, but... Oh yeah, I guess... Oh, I shouldn't... You know what? I shouldn't have rested, dude. What am I doing? I did rest, right? Only 2 of them died. I was not supposed to rest there.
Mishino High.
Oh boy, this is actual 2017 strats right here. Ah, dude, I don't know why I rested. Actual 2017 strats right here. About to go get Karthus Blood Ring now. Although, I mean, Karthus Blood Ring's actually good, so. Go. But yeah, I think what people have done for DS1 is just use Dung Pies for her instead. You just want to talk to Poison Mist? Yeah, but can you get them before her? I don't actually know. I'm not really familiar with DS1 as much. Oh god, he's trying to unplug my controller, dude. Excellent. What about doing Ash of War only in Elden Ring? I've basically done that. The Mind Run was basically like that. Okay, so hopefully I remember how this other strat works. Like, I think the main thing is that you just get a couple free hits off right away. At least one. I think he pulls his hand up now. Or does that? That works too. Yeah, it's just safer to go for that hand first. What? Why'd I roll that? Also, why did this not break it? It's been a while since I fought Wolnir like this. All right, good stuff. Yeah, the fiasco yesterday was, yeah. The problem is that, like I was saying earlier, Great Combustion causes weird stuff to happen on Wolnir. And that in combination with not having Sage's Ring kind of was the problem. Because I think normally I have a bit of a stronger build than this, at least on the other Pyro run I did. Wolnir Bearer of the Curse. Wait, do I subscribe to the Wolnir equals Bearer of the Curse from DS2 theory? What it... I'm gonna say no. But I don't know. All these damn theories for this game. This whole game is just crazy, dude. What people come up with. Like, oh, here's this one word in this, like, basically meaningless item description. It's like, oh, I guess fucking... guess I'm Wolnir, actually. I don't know. I don't know what that's based on, but... sounds crazy. Dude, he's actually gonna unplug my controller. Please don't. I'm so ready to jump on my keyboard if he does. I've never done a run in quite these conditions before. I don't believe. See, this is what normally happens when you rest at this, at that bonfire. I'm not sure what caused him to not show up yesterday when I rested, but maybe it might have to do with the, like, what attack he's doing or something. I don't know. This is kind of my preferred way to do this. Yeah, if you rest the Worm AI, like, it... I think maybe what happens is depending on the attack that you... like, depending on the timing of your rest, maybe you kind of have to re-trigger him by walking into the event area, right? That's probably what happens, but I'm not certain of that. I'm Godfrey with the cat on my shoulder. That's pretty funny. That's funny, dude. I'm like mini Godfrey. Godfrey, but not like 9 feet tall or whatever. Blur Void, thanks for the 15-month Prime sub, by the way, dude. NPCs are not invading in your DS3 game? Probably because you have Steam offline. I would guess. I wonder who's actually meant to be controlling that. Just automatic. Kind of weird. There are a bunch of dead giants up there, right? But all you do to turn it off is literally just flip the switch, and that's it. Yeah, skeletons have a degree in engineering. Yeah, true. I think he unplugged my capture card. Or something. Oh. Okay, well, let me try to fix this. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe it reconnected. Okay, I guess it's fine. You guys can hear the game, right? Yeah, yeah. Oh, boy. Gonna have to keep him out of here, dude. I think because a couple problems, maybe. Oh, and my camera also. Wait. What could he have unplugged that? No, there's not. I don't even know at this point what that could have been, that my camera and my capture card got messed up. Okay, hello, camera. There we go. Well, I didn't get hit. You would have heard it, I think. This is an adventurous run so far. Yeah, Team Melon's approved. Yep, surely I spliced my run, dude. I'm just waiting for the controller disconnect, and then I get killed by something. That's what I'm waiting for at this point. It's gonna happen, dude. Okay, what am I doing now? +6. Buy a couple spells.
Think now.
Wait, I had an extra large shard? Oh, no, it's a junk. Never mind. We buy this, and this one. Oh, wait, am I missing something? Oh, no, okay.
Do not what? What? Pretty like.
Ash. Ash.
Got a pair of kids last year. Pre-lit Christmas tree no longer lights up. Yeah, that's not surprising.
Let these souls withdrawn from their vessels.
I can understand that.
Farewell, Ashen One.
I don't need the Esper Shard. I mean, we're doing a magic build, so... Turns out having more magic is good. Okay, I think we're all good to go. No, he's actually not... Like, the other cat we got is its mom, who's older, and doesn't really go crazy with stuff, at least yet. But... No, he's actually not... Like, he's actually really good. Other cats I've had before are much more destructive. I say that, like, as he's, you know, interfering with this run, but if I wasn't actually doing a no-hit run, it wouldn't matter at all. So... I say that, and he starts pulling my controller again. They definitely like dangling wires. This for sure. I'm already, you know what? I'm already wireless on most stuff, but not the controller. Like this controller doesn't. I don't think any of the Thrustmaster controllers have wireless. Pretty much everything else I have is wireless. I mean, I guess my mic isn't, but probably not going to happen. They're USB-Cs. It's been kind of weird for me. Last couple runs. I don't know if the deal still applies, Valence, dude. But I do really like the heart controller. There was one person who said that their triggers started having issues, which I actually had that problem with my eSwap controller from them. So it does seem like it is a potential problem where it's like what ends up happening is you just get phantom presses very, very rarely. But I did lose 2 all bosses no hit runs with my eSwap controller because of it. And then I basically was forced to swap controllers. But yeah, I don't know if the deal still applies, though. You could try it. I do Greatwood early because we get a lot of stuff on this route. We get the Flame Stone Plate Ring, which we use for the Lava Walk. We also get the Fire Pellets right here, which is also for the Lava Walk. And then we need to kill Greatwood at some point before Cinder. So it's a perfect time right now because... we are going to go get Sacred Flame now. And so we get all this, like, fire resist stuff on the way. Yeah, DS3 unlocked FPS isn't, like, without issue, unfortunately. You will get slow running. I would recommend, though, if you're looking to play at higher FPS, because even the difference between 60 and 90 FPS is pretty large, in my opinion. Playing at 90 is pretty good. You won't have that running glitch that often. It does still happen a little bit. But 90 FPS is good. I would recommend that. And I probably could do runs at 90 FPS, but I just don't bother even. Maybe could, though. I'm just doing at base 60 FPS right now. No modification. But yeah, I would try 90. Limit FPS. It just depends. Most of the ways to change FPS, you can just set the amount. So, like if you got the mod, you can just. There he goes again. Good lord, dude. If you got the mod, you can just set the cap. You know, desired FPS, whatever. If you're using DS3 tool, I think it has FPS changing on that too. You just do the same thing. Using Silky Souls I think is the same, although I haven't tried. Yeah, I guess I don't. Does anyone know? Is there a way to run the Bloodborne emulator at 90 FPS? Not possible, because maybe that would work well. I don't know how to do that. Okay, I would like to use my mouse here. Possible. Okay. Pretty clean Great Wood for this early in the run, but because we got Great Chaos Fire Orb. How's it going, Overdrive? All right, so let's go get Sacred Flame now. Think I need anything else.
What?
Do need to do this though. This is part of what's so slow about getting Sacred Flame. I think 7 and 2 is fine. Oh yeah, that's what I say. Last Sweat. Most fun challenge run I've done in Elden Ring, by far. Well, I don't think there's one that is by far the most fun. And honestly, I don't know which one is the most fun, so. I am not sure. Yeah, defense was pretty cool. Realistically, I could just run for this part. Yeah, so now we have the Flame Stone Plate Ring, we have Red Bug Pellet, we have decent fire resist armor, and a good fire shield. So that's part of the early game setup. We get all of that stuff set up. Ooh, that was close to him not going after that. Okay, should be good. Yeah, we also have Flash Sweat. Didn't mention. Pellet. Flash Sweat. I don't know if the order actually matters. Here we go.
Did what? Pretty.
Ashen?
Yeah, that we were one tick away from dying there, but it is just always pretty close. No matter how you do it, if you're not leveling vigor at least. Okay, go back here. Yeah, I did the new auger fight earlier today. Yeah, not the greatest fight. I don't think I don't think it's as bad as everyone told me it was though, going into it. Here we go, stamina. Doesn't Fire Clutch cause lava to do more damage? Nah, Fire Clutch is only physical damage you take more of. Not elemental. I think if I... It's only physical. You know what, though? What I will say about the fight, I think it's for sure more fun than the base auger fight. I think it's for sure more fun. Base augers is really bad, I think. I'm trying to think if I should rest here. I don't really think I have to. Hey, well, this is where I got hit last time, basically. Wasn't by this guy. Getting hit by this guy would be more understandable, actually. This guy can meme sometimes, and getting hit by, you know, a dog or an archer here is understandable, but getting hit by the guy I got hit by is not understandable. It was this guy. The guy that you just run past. But yeah, the reason I wanted to kill him is because I don't know. In my head, I was thinking, yeah, like, oh, I want to get the Estus shard, so maybe I should kill him and... so he doesn't chase me up or something, but he definitely does not chase you up when you just do that. Oh. But yeah, it's because we take a slightly more efficient route through Cathedral where I go get the shortcut and then get the bonfire instead. I do think it would be smart to kill that guy from up here. I just don't know if there's any danger, so I won't do it. Oh my god, dude, the fucking thrall nearly got me. I was just thinking I should probably kill him. Oh my god. This is not good. Because I need a great combustion for this part. There's no frame trap, sir. I can also knife you. Are you going to backstab now? Okay, maybe I should write that down. Switch to Great Combustion. Because, yeah, you're supposed to kill that guy. So that doesn't happen. But then I was like, oh, I guess I'll kill these other ones. I don't know. Luckily, I know his moveset, though. I'm not gonna lie, though. When I threw that fireball and it didn't kill the guy in the back, I thought I was gonna have another another fire guy incident. How much scarier is everything without hidden body, dude? It's the no hidden body strats. I got too comfortable with them, or with the hidden body, and now everything's scary, dude. Yeah, and we almost had a thrall incident. Yeah, I should probably do something about that thrall. Trying to think of what I used to do. I really don't know. The new auger was just, it was pretty mid, I guess. It was probably like a, I'm going to say a C- tier Night Rain boss. No, the two that I killed die every time when you open the door. It's the guy on the side. So like what I was trying to do in my head there, or my quick thinking was I was going to, you know, kill both of them with a fireball and then kill the guy on the left so I could safely do it. Because I'm pretty sure if I tried to use a Great Chaos Fire Orb to kill that guy on the left, I think it would have been too slow and I would have gotten hit. So, yeah, I was thinking I would... I got the bonfire, right? I was thinking that I would kill them and then kill him, but then I threw the fireball and it didn't kill both of them, so... So then I just went to the door and then kind of rolled the dice there, basically. Okay. Or use Toxic? I actually do not use Toxic, no. It turns out that it's not really worth using on this run, which is not what I was expecting. It would be good for Half-Light, but it takes more time to get it than actually saves on the fight than just using Poison Mist. And... yeah, for Gale it would be good, but it's not better than just spamming Great Combustion, I don't think. Simply because it doesn't carry over into Phase 2, right? So I would have to re-proc him in Phase 2, which is very dangerous, honestly. But you know what? Maybe it is worth it. I don't know. It could be worth it still for Gale Phase 2. Maybe. I think I should... I think what I used to do is I used to kill that Thrall or something. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go in Bender. Okay, so I need to go get patches now. What I think I'm going to do is the DLC running section after we kill Deacons. I think that's what I should do. No, I disagree. I don't think avoid Scholar. I think you should play Scholar, not Vanilla DS2, in my opinion. I think it's a better game overall. I do run Vanilla for no hit runs, and it's that the only reason is Forlorn is not random. And that's, I mean, that's pretty much the main reason. The other reason would be that the game's actually faster. Like, you can use some faster strategies for no-hit speed type of stuff. So, for example, running through Dragon Shrine is much easier in, or it's not RNG to do that in Vanilla DS2, whereas in Scholar, it would basically just be RNG if you're trying to sprint through that section on no hit. So, like, there are a few spots like that, but yeah, for the most, like, just play Vanilla. I think, or sorry, just play Scholar. I think Scholar is more fun to play casually. Okay, I'm gonna write down equip Great Combustion there because I nearly screwed myself. And did I do this? Yeah, they, like, honestly, Vanilla has many sections that are much worse than Scholar enemy placements. And just to name a few, I guess Dragon Shrine, like I mentioned, is actually, like, I actually think it's a better area. It's less tedious to go through in Scholar. It's only for speed that it's better. But for casual playthrough, I think Dragon Shrine's better. I think Undead Crypt is better by a lot. I think, I mean, even the DLC horse section in Frigid Outskirts is actually technically better in Scholar as well. Just to name a few. No, Shrine of Amana Vanilla is, like, it's actually a little bit easier than Scholar, I would say, because enemies aren't pathing around, so you have more control over what's going on, I guess, but they're pretty similar, I'd say. Should die from that. And there is one thing that I like about Amana in Vanilla for no hit is that you can, the back section, instead of those 3 wandering, whatever their names are, I forget what those guys are called, but what the 3 wandering guys, they're all standing still and you can sneak behind them for no hit, whereas in Scholar you can't do that because they're all, like, wandering around. Oh my god. This boss sometimes, dude. Trying to fucking lead me, and it almost worked. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes they just randomly misfire, and it just happens to be exactly where you're going. I've had that happen where I'm like, you know, just running in a direction around the pile, and I just randomly get hit by one of them, and it's because they just shoot some random direction. So we've killed 3 so far. I'd be wondering why I'm doing this with Great Combustion. It's simply because I don't want to kill a ton of deacons, because then I have to wait longer in phase 2. It probably balances out more, I guess, but... Problem is, when you kill a bunch of deacons, they spawn over on the other side, and you don't want to have them spawning in when you're killing the archdeacon. Giant golden arc here. Yeah, that'd be pretty satisfying. I guess there's nothing really quite like that in this game. Or just even the disc. I was very tempted to do that. I probably should have. The glintstone arc would be excellent here. So I killed a lot of them there. So we got to wait for 3 more to come back now. I don't have to, but I probably should. It's 2. Okay, there they are. I think they're all in the pile. That's pretty bad. Great. That wasn't great. All right, let's go do the running section now.
Merciful goddess, mother of the fallen.
What gives me the drive to keep doing other runs? It's just they're simply fun to do. That's it. Breakout, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, by the way, dude. I mean, it's probably just the same reason why you still play games. I'm assuming, I guess, but... Exact same thing. You know, some people might prefer to just, you know, play a bunch of different types of games and stuff. And you finish one game, you move on to the next one. I just like doing these runs. Let's go and Baryon. Yeah, I'm deciding to do this running section early because it is more scary without hidden body, so... Like, primarily the wolf section. Supposed to get some money out of it too, I guess. Doesn't hurt. I don't have cat ring. I don't think that affects anything though. I could get it by this point, but Yeah, I'm also more comfortable doing scream skip earlier in the run. We are an hour 20 in, but still relatively early. Not even halfway in yet. At this rate, would have been faster to just run around, but what's happening here? This run's going to be about 3 hours ish, probably a bit longer though. Maybe 310. Liza P is free. Wait. Liza P is free next month. Ever think of doing runs on that game? Not really. I don't really like running Souls-likes that much. Depends on the game, though. Because certain games, if they're different enough, then it can be fun. But Liza P, I don't know. I haven't thought about really doing any runs on that game. Also insanely long. But also, it's not like I don't own the game already. Like I have...
I've seen your kind.
I have played it and beaten it. I just haven't played the DLC yet. Hope it's not a mistake to try to kill Wilhelm this way. Oh. That's not what I meant to do. I mean, maybe I can just get him into the spot and just do this. Works. Pyromancer approved backstab right there. I mean, Pyromancers have fists after all. So. Scared of Hollow Knight no hit? I just haven't played the game, so I don't really know what. I don't know anything about the game. I haven't played it. I haven't really watched it either.
Any Souls game.
Tony, thanks for the 16-month resub, dude. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think it's the best Souls-like game, at least that I've played. But it doesn't, it's not a Souls game. I have seen people say, though, that they think it's better than the Souls games. A lot of them, at least. Which I don't know, dude. I can't get behind that at all. Still a good game, though. Yeah, I guess, I mean, maybe if you look at it without any context, then sure, maybe Liza P is better than Dark Souls 1. Maybe. But, I mean, even then, I wouldn't be so sure. Dark Souls was made 14 years ago, so. Yeah, even then, I don't know if that's true. Yeah, Wukong's... Yeah, Wukong is not a Souls-like, in my opinion. I don't think it... Souls-like has to be... Well, I mean... It's pretty damn close, I guess, right? But... I feel like it's missing the requirement of... different... Like, at the very least, different movesets that you can use, right? I think that's part of what a Souls-like has. It has different weapons that are unique. And Wukong doesn't really like it. Sort of has that, but it has like what 3 weapons in the game that are different movesets or whatever. So I'm forgetting stuff. No, it's not quite the same. I won't be able to do the Grave Tender section yet because I don't have Cat Ring, but just that's fine. Yeah, I agree with that, Tony, as well. Again, I really like Liza P, but I just can't agree with people that say that it's better than literally any Souls game, for that matter. I just use DS1 because, like, maybe DS1's the weakest Souls game. Arguably, it is. And I still think DS1's for sure better, so... all right. Well, we have done it. DLC 1 running section done. Yeah, yeah, Demon Souls, sure. Yeah, if Demon Souls is the weakest, then I still think I'd like Demon Souls more, probably, but I still think it's probably a better game, given the context, at least. The context of, you know, it being made, what was it, 2009? Yeah, you know what? That is a good point. I haven't played the DLC, so maybe the DLC takes it up to another level, but yeah, my opinion right now, with just having only played the base game and beaten the base game only a single time, is that it's the best Souls-like game that has been made, that I've played, at least, and it's really good. Like, just on its own, it's a really solid game. But it's not quite Souls level yet. You know? Not quite Souls level. But I do hold the game in pretty high regard. I'm definitely going to play the DLC at some point. I just don't know exactly when. This is an example of a section where Hidden Body saves probably a good 3 minutes on it for no hit. I don't know exactly how long this takes with the branch strat, but it is very slow. Is it missing for it to reach from levels? I think the very first thing I noticed when playing that game, and pretty much when playing any other Souls-like game, is I don't really know what category this is, whether it's level design, not like, maybe I guess it's level design, but it's not actually the layout of levels, because I think Liza P has some really, I guess maybe some not so great ones, but it has some pretty good levels in it as well. But it's something that feels very indie game to me almost, is the barriers, you know, the things that keep you within the level itself. This is a very small thing, by the way, but you know, they use like a bunch of clutter stuff to block you, you know, like garbage and stuff like that. That's not nearly as kind of seamless as what Dark Souls does, right? Even just looking at this level, usually it'll use, you know, like full-blown structures or, you know, terrain that feels like it would make sense rather than just like some flaming garbage somewhere. So that's the very first thing I noticed, but I think one thing that FromSoft is super underrated for is their enemy diversity in the games. Every Souls-like I play, and Liza P does a great job at this compared to other Souls-likes, I think, but any enemy diversity is maybe a slight, you know, they're just not quite on the same level as FromSoft is. Whereas, like, FromSoft has really, really good enemies, dude. Just overall, the elite enemies are good. The basic enemies are satisfying to kill, all this stuff. And yeah, they do a pretty damn good job of that. So that's probably, like, that's a more major thing, probably, that I don't think any Souls-like is caught up to yet. Where I do think Lies of P is in, like, really, really good, just objectively, is so many good boss fights in that game, dude. That are on... at least the highest level of any Souls-like I've played. You know, maybe it's not quite as consistent quality as some of FromSoft, but still really, really good. What else? I don't really know what else. Those are pretty big points, I guess, but those are the first things I can think of. Yeah, FromSoft does. They're very resourceful with the assets that they've made, right? I mean, they even in you know, forget about Nightreign for a second. Even in Elden Ring, you have reused stuff all the way back from like DS1, basically, right? And they do a good job of not making that too obvious most of the time. But it's just, yeah, I think if I forget the studio for Lies of P, but if they make, you know, if they down the line have a couple games, you know, Lies of P2 or something like that, I think that game's gonna be probably really, really good, dude. And yeah, this isn't to say that FromSoft is perfect in every way either. I'm not glazing them too much here. I'm not trying to. There's still several problems with FromSoft games, and that, you know, keep them from being what I would think is like a perfect game, basically, which is, that's gonna happen, right? But yeah, they're still the best. They're still the kings, I think, right now. But like I said, Lies of P is the best, next best thing that I have tried. Yeah, 60 FPS, yes. If getting better performance is the #1 thing that FromSoft should be worried about at this point. It did make some improvements for Elden Ring, but yeah, it's still, you know, they're still, that's like the one place where they're behind still. SBS difficulty settings, not sure if it would be Souls-like anymore. It's still Souls-like with difficulty settings, I think. Difficulty settings don't really... Well, I mean, maybe it does change. It makes it less of a Souls-like now, for sure. But it's still pretty much a one-for-one Souls-like almost. Nearly one-for-one Souls-like, but with like Sekiro parrying. But I do kind of agree that it is almost a quintessential part of being a Souls-like, is the developers really forcing you to have this intended experience, right? Or pushing you towards one experience of the game, which people can agree or disagree that it's good or bad or whatever, but that was a little close. Yeah, I mean, hardest difficulty is the base game. That's true, but In Dark Souls, you have one, and I'm not saying this is better or worse. Like I don't really think it makes that big of a difference, but like at least for the quality of the game, I mean. But in Souls, you have one way to play, or you have one difficulty to play the game at, and so you know it's very intentional, I guess. When you have difficulty settings, though, nice. Okay. Whoa, what was that? But yeah, when you have difficulty settings, it makes it so that you know, people can play the game for different reasons, right? And basically the two reasons would be being more interested in the story of the game, right? Or just, you know, kind of the, you know, I guess you can still go through the levels and stuff, but being more interested in the story and maybe the boss design and level design, stuff like that. Whereas if you're playing it in like the hardest setting or the maybe intended setting, whatever, then, you know, you get that plus a challenge as well. I forget what I'm even talking about, dude. I don't know what I'm just saying things, I guess, but yeah, so difficulty settings, I think it just depends what the developers want. Do they want their game to be one where you're rewarded for learning the mechanics properly and stuff like that and figuring out the bosses, or do they want you to have options, right? Like where you can do that or you can just kind of ignore it. I don't know if I'm going to play Duskbloods yet, Carlos, dude. Not sure. I mean, I probably will. I think it's feasible to have super fine-tuned combat like Sekiro, but with weapon variety. Oh, 100%, dude. Yeah, there's no reason why it's not. I mean, Lies of P is is kind of like that, right? Kind of already does that. Which is, I think, one of the reasons why the game is actually notable. Because you have some cool weapon variety in the game where you can, like, swap stuff around and it's get different movesets, all that. And you can parry stuff. I do think, though, I don't know, I do almost think that parrying can reduce the amount of variety in a game to a certain degree, right? Because if you're just sitting there parrying the boss and then, you know, you're posting them or whatever, and you're not really utilizing the moveset of the weapon you have. So, I don't know, maybe it could be better balanced, I guess. Because yeah, I guess often when I play Lies of P, I just kind of just parry everything, and I don't really dodge anymore. But maybe there's some way where you could encourage people to do both more often. Because I think that's what I did. It has been a while since I played Lies of P. That was a couple of years ago, I think, but... But yeah, I think probably the ideal way to do it is to have builds that focus on both, right? That are well balanced. I can't remember if Lies of P has anything for dodging, like if there's any benefit to it, to be honest, but I guess Wukong does. Wukong's got the perfect dodge thing, which is cool, but yeah, if there's like some build that's based around dodging and, you know, maybe you get some perks if you perfect dodge something, you get, you know, some attack bonus or, you know, stuff like that. And then on the other hand, you also have parrying stuff, which already exists. Then probably didn't have to come back here, actually. That'd be a way to do it,
Well,
I guess.
well then. Farewell, Ashen One.
Yeah, you can also have attacks that can't be parried, yeah. For sure. Game of Shadows, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, dude. Yep, that also works. Yeah, I just think sometimes it can be a little boring if you're only just parrying every move, you know? Just, it gets a little bit more boring. And, you know, Souls, you can't really do that, right? You just, you know, you can parry few select moves, but it's totally different, obviously. Parry's a different thing where you get one parry and you get a huge damage attack on an enemy after parrying, but it's like super high risk. Versus Sekiro where it's, you know, you can just parry all the time. There's basically no risk to parrying because you just block if you miss. So yeah, if there were to be a game like Sekiro that had a variety of weapons and movesets and stuff, I think there needs to be ways to encourage both playstyles. Because I could very well be wrong. I've only played Lies of P once, but I just remember in Lies of P I didn't see any reason to not just try to parry everything, basically. And that's all I did. I just learned parries on bosses, which was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was fun, but wouldn't mind, you know, some positional dodges and some like actual dodges as well. I won't go for this. Oh, we didn't get the secondary hit there. Can I do another Great Combustion? I think that's fine, right? I wonder if I could go for it on this. I probably could, since we got Pyro. Yeah, I probably could have done that. That Blossom's still going. I'm trying to remember what in Kazan is it? I definitely don't remember pairing everything in Kazan. I don't really remember very well somehow. Okay, so let's get this. I mean, yeah, Kazan is a lot of pairing as well, though, for sure. Kazan felt like just another Souls-like. Lesby didn't. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I think like quite a few things in Kazan are different from normal Souls, right? Like just the level setups and the quests and the gear rolling. So it felt quite a bit different. Not saying that it's better or anything, but I think it's more drastically different than Souls, probably, in my opinion. Yeah, and the whole like gear set stuff, Souls doesn't have that. Gonna buy more skulls soon. Yeah, Kazan's a solid game. It's pretty solid. I liked it. I haven't finished it yet, though. Don't let him heal. Nice. Yeah, the combat in Kazan is pretty fun. Yeah, all the combos and the movesets and stuff.
Thank you for your kind
Yeah,
assistance.
it's a fun game, dude.
Blessing of the moon upon your journey.
Fun little game. Let's go get some more skulls, I guess. That's probably why this runs so slow, is just all this back and forth and needing to buy more skulls, needing to change my Estus allotment, all that stuff. Sorcery didn't really have that. Yeah, I haven't tried any Neo game. I probably should, though. Main reason I haven't played them is because of the console exclusivity, at first, at least. And so I just haven't bothered. Okay, we get Cat Ring. I would like... You know what? I think I just like most games, probably. I don't think there are many games that I don't like to play or don't have fun playing. Which is a pretty good thing, I think. I can't really think of any game I've played that I haven't at least enjoyed. Not necessarily that I finished them all, but it's like, oh yeah, this is pretty fun. Got some good things about it. Can't really think of a game where that hasn't been the case. That's fucked. That's fucked, dude. Oh my god. I don't know if I've seen that before. I don't know if I messed up or if he just randomly turned. Yeah, I haven't played a lot of Lords of the Fallen, but even that game, like, I don't know. I didn't play enough of it, maybe, though. Only played for like 2 hours, maybe. Seemed okay. But yeah, I guess I haven't played the... What is it? The big update that they did. Recommend the game now? What game do you mean? Oh, Night Rain. Would I recommend Night Rain? Yeah, I think so. I think it's a fun game if you like Elden Ring and stuff. But I don't think... Don't buy it thinking you're going to get, you know, hundreds of hours of playtime in it, you know? But you know what? It also could just be that because I've played Elden Ring so much that Night Rain's actually even less fun for me, just simply because it's not as much of a challenge as it would be if I didn't know the enemies and the bosses as well. Like that's almost surely part of it. But no, there's the biggest problem with Night Rain, I think, is just basically the lack of randomizing in that game and how similar every run feels to me. But yeah, so that being said, I still think the game's worth it. It's still a fun game. But... Well, yeah, that's the ultimate problem, Spencer. Yeah, is that it's supposed to be roguelike, so the fact that it starts to get boring and feel the same after not that long is not a great sign. But yeah, the thing that carries Night Rain is the gameplay is very fun. Relic grind isn't really fun. Well, there basically isn't a relic grind. And I think they're... Well, it's because it's just so... It's so insanely... It's so insanely unlikely that you actually end up getting a really good relic that's better than the ones you can buy. So there's just... I don't think there's any reason to try to farm them by doing levels or anything like that. That's why I think they should add a relic progression system in the game, basically, where you can make relics yourself or something, you know, something along those lines. You know, an idea is basically taking a relic, one passive on a relic, and then applying that to another relic or something like that, right? It's kind of the idea. So that way you could eventually... You know, maybe it should be very hard to do. It should take a lot of time, but eventually you would get a perfect relic. And then you would do that for 3 relics on each character, and then that would be a fun way to make the game feel worth playing a bit more. And yeah, someone had a pretty interesting idea of once you get 10 of the same relic passive, then you can destroy all of those relics and then put it onto another relic or something like that, you know? Sort of thing. Doing every level over and over again. What do you mean, for souls or something? Oh, doing no hit runs? Yeah, but it's totally different. Like, I have an end goal here. Something to work towards. Each route that I make is unique. And requires different strategies and stuff. Night Rain is totally not the same thing. But yeah, there is some repetition in this, of course. You got everything? Oh. Oops, I guess I forgot the tome. In the base form, it is the same, though? Yeah, but I'm not playing the game in the base form of Dark Souls, right? I'm not playing this game as intended. In any, like... This isn't how you're intended to play the game. Well, it depends how you look at it, I guess, but they weren't thinking that people were going to do no hit runs in these games. And they're, part of why, and the big reason why I like Souls games is because they're fun to do these types of runs in. And for all those reasons I gave earlier, they have unique routes. You're using a wide variety of builds and strategies and stuff. Night Rain has that, but it's not fun to do challenge runs in my opinion. And the intended game loop has gotten old because the map's always the same. It doesn't have enough randomization. Like the camps are always the same layout, all this stuff. The castle's always in the middle. But yeah, I'm playing the games in 2 very different ways.
Farewell, Agni.
But yeah, I totally see what you're saying, though. I mean, I am playing the same playthrough in a game several times, but... But you have to recognize that there's a difference in trying to go for some end goal to a no-hit run, right? Versus not doing it. Like, I guess if I just played the Souls games... I do... You know what? I do think a big part of it is also just that Night Rain is a 30-minute match, I guess. Right? You're in a 30-minute match and you just repeat that. If you do another Souls playthrough, if you do several Souls playthroughs, that's going to take you tens of hours. So you're not just constantly going through the same stuff all the time, which I guess is probably the biggest reason, I guess. No, but I'm not Night Rain's biggest hater. I'm just describing why I don't think Night Rain is a game that is fun to put, 300 hours into. Ah, just at this time. I think it would be, though, if the randomization was done... I guess I'll say correctly, then it would have been different. Oh, dude, that's so annoying. I guess right there, his shoulder was closer to his head than it normally is. I think that was the problem. Oh my god, how'd that miss? Black Flame's got that curve to it, dude. The Black Fire Orb, I mean. Yeah, I mean, I maybe didn't explain or articulate that perfectly, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. I think a part of it also has to do with expectation as well, because going into Night Rain, you're expecting, it's a roguelike game, you're expecting runs to feel a lot different every time. I think, like you don't want runs to start to blend together that much. Whereas when I'm playing Souls, there's no expectation for that. It's the same game every time. There were days where I was running Night Rain where I just could not remember, like, or I'd think back to other runs and I didn't know if that was the same run I was on or if it was a different run or something. But yeah, I guess another reason for that may just be that, again, it's a 30-minute game, basically, right? 30-minute cycle. Which is fine, but I don't know. I've talked about it enough, I guess. Oh, I should probably swap here. Great Combustion. But yeah, I've explained it enough times already. My opinion on Night Rain. I like the game. I think the gameplay is really good. But it does get a bit old. Dungeon Crawlers roguelike. I think that would work better. Probably. I think that would work much better. I do have to be aware of that guy in the back because there's potential that he hears something and then tries to go after it. I think I should probably just skull here, dude. I'm just gonna skull. I heard him shoot. Yeah, he definitely shot, which was what I was scared of. If anyone's wondering, that the Undead Hunter's Charm doesn't count as a hit because it's a debuff. No stagger or no damage taken. I played a bit of PoE 2 at the start. And it's pretty fun. But I haven't played it since like a week after the early access started, so... Yeah, I feel like I need to reiterate that Night Rain is a fun game, and it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good game. It's worth buying, and all that stuff, but I'm just talking about things that aren't keeping me playing it for, you know, 300 hours or something, right? I've about 250 hours in the game. And it's been fun. And you might be thinking like, oh, he's talking about bad replayability. He has 250 hours in the game, but I guess it's just for me, 250 hours isn't that much. Wow. You know, basically when it comes to any game I play, 250 hours is not really a lot because I play very few games and I usually just play them for a long ass time. Did the stagger actually make me whiff that? No, I don't use red tear stone on this run. Simply because we use power within instead. Remember my first playthrough of this game? Oh yeah, I remember it very well, actually. Because it was my first Souls game, so... Probably the first playthrough that I remember the best. My Elden Ring first playthrough, I do not remember it well at all. Yeah, this game, I remember it decently well. And I remember what happened as well is... Wait, what happened? Why did you get hit by the sing part? Remember what happened is I started a character, got to Pontiff, and I didn't end up beating the game on that character. I just fully restarted the game because my build was shit, and I don't know. I just restarted the game. And you know what's funny too? I guarantee I still have that first playthrough character somewhere as well. Even the one that got stuck at Pontiff. I would have a save file of that somewhere. It's pretty funny. I still have that because I started doing no hit runs, right? And I made save files. And those characters would be in those early save files that I have. Would be on a different drive I have, but yeah. Pretty sure I still have those. How's it going, Mad King? Yeah, I think I think on that character, I don't really remember it too well. I do remember having the Dark Hand, though. I was using the Dark Hand. What else, dude? Should I go back and get Great Combustion? Is it fine that I don't have it? I think it's fine, right? You hate this area? I think this is a good area, dude. This is probably one of the better ones in DS3. But yeah, hating it because it's annoying is... Yeah, that's reasonable. I think it is one of the better DS3 areas, though. If not, maybe the best one, possibly. Okay, should I kill this guy or not? I think I'm not going to. I'm going to just skull. This is kind of the older strat. You wouldn't kill him usually. Yeah, it could very well be the best area in the game, yeah. I would probably agree with that, but I'd have to think about it. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to finish this run today, you guys. Like, I got something to do later. We still have a good at least hour, probably an hour and a half left almost, or maybe not. Actually, maybe we don't have that much time left. Maybe an hour. Maybe I do have time. This is the DS1 library again. Yeah, but it's better. I mean, it's a better area than DS1 archives for sure. Okay, I'm actually going to remember the bone shard this time. Yeah, but I think I agree. I think Archives probably is the best area in the game. Got a lot going for it. So you can get a +9. Really liked Ash of Ariandel area, despite what everyone says. I think it's a little underrated. I'm not sure why people dislike it so much, to be honest. I think maybe the first part, you know, just the open field, the part with the tower, not very interesting, but everything after that I think is pretty solid. Maybe it's just because it's so short, you know? I don't think it's too bad, though. It's not great, but it's not absolute trash or anything. I'm wondering if I should get 24 attunement now so that I can use Power Within. I guess I will. How is the skull situation? Yeah, I think the problem with the Ariandel DLC is Gravetender sucks. And it is quite linear as well. That's probably the issues, right? The wolf is like a better Sif? No, I disagree with that, sure. I think Sif's much better than the Great Wolf. Okay, maybe not much better, but especially given the context of when Sif was made, I think Sif's for sure better. But the Great Wolf isn't trash. But there's no way it would stand alone as a boss itself. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, I think Sif is actually really good. One of the best bosses in DS1. In my opinion. Holy damage, dude. Actually, I have to be careful I don't do too much. I shouldn't be too far back. Good. No, I think isn't it supposed to be the same Great Wolf, Tetradus? Or I forget if you killed the other Great Wolf at the second encounter or not, but no, it's the exact same, I think. It just the other ones don't have a phase 2 though. Pretty fast princess kill, dude. No, they won't do... No, they at least hopefully won't do another Elden Ring DLC. I'd much rather just another game. Probably. I already think Elden Ring is too big. We don't need more. I don't even think Elden Ring really needed a DLC at all, actually. I would have been perfectly fine if they were making an Elden Ring 2. That's what they actually are doing. I would be perfectly fine seeing the stuff from that DLC in just another Elden Ring instead. I think it would have been a more reasonable size. Right, because that, I mean, that actually is a legitimate problem with the game. And the reason it's a problem is because if, let's say you're like a casual player, you want to do another Elden Ring playthrough, and you want to do kind of all the main bosses and beat the DLC, that is such a huge commitment. Right? If you want to get to Mesmer, that's going to take you... Oh, I guess I was on Homeward Bound. Nice. Though I don't think I got that. Yeah, if you want to go fight Mesmer or Consort, that's going to take you so long, dude. And at that point, it's not even a question of... Or some people in the past have said that it's... You know, it's fine how big Elden Ring is simply because you can just skip a lot of the content in it, which is true. You don't have to do all bosses every time. But I think the base game, if you wanted to fight kind of all the main bosses, it's... You know, it's still a big commitment, but it's more reasonable. Once you get to the... Once the DLC's added in, I just think it's too much, dude. It's too much for me, even. Right? Like, for the no-hit runs and stuff, it just... I'm not really wanting to do a run like All Remembrance's no-hit because it's so damn long now. Before, it was already pretty long. But now it's just crazy, dude. So yeah, that's a legitimate concern, I think. Part of why I think Elden Ring didn't really need a DLC in the first place, but... Not that it's bad DLC, although there are certainly some issues. Really, the boss will actually stun this time. Very fair damage. Did all 7 games though? Well, yeah, that's true, but I guess part of it being so long is the open world. Right? You're traversing the open world, which is, you know, it's more boring than doing Dark Souls levels, undoubtedly. So that is a part, that's probably the biggest factor for me, is that the base game is, you know, it has, if you're gonna have a good build, right, and you're gonna get upgraded before fighting a bunch of bosses, it does take setup, which is, you know, it's fine. It takes a bit of setup, but it's not too bad. But then the problem for me is that I get to the DLC and I have to do that all again, basically, with the fragments. And the fragments are even less interesting to get because it's almost like I don't have a choice to get them because they're so damn strong. Whereas in the base game, you know, and I guess with the fragments too, you're going to be getting them anyways, right? Whereas in the base game, I have different builds that I maybe want to go for. If I want to go with, you know, Faith build, the route through the game is going to be quite a bit different. The stops I need to make, bosses I need to kill are going to be different than if I'm going to go with a you know, pure strength build or something like that, right? But the DLC doesn't even have that part of it because fragments help every single build, no matter what, and you're going to get them no matter what, basically. So that's another part of the problem. Yeah, it's always the same. Exactly. We go with this one. Yeah, the fragment system sucks. I kind of agree. At least the way it is. Not a big fan. And so, yeah, basically on top of already being really long, just to kill all the bosses, right? You have all these running sections in between that are just open world that are just not that interesting. Again, I'm not saying the DLC's bad, though. It just, that is one of the problems. Yeah, I think, no, I disagree with the solution of putting the fragments behind main bosses, because that's not the point of them. The point of the fragments was to encourage exploration, I think, and to recreate the feeling from the base game where you get stuck somewhere and then you can go explore, get a bit stronger, and then come back. I think that's what the fragments are for. Just like collecting Estus upgrades. Yeah, but it's not the same, because Estus isn't... Honestly, Estus is not as strong as fragments are. But anyways. So yeah, I think that's what they were going for. And so just putting them behind main bosses doesn't do anything for that. So I think what they should have done is actually put it behind optional bosses instead. Don't put them in some random trash mob in some area that people aren't going to bother going to. Put them behind the side bosses, and also the other thing I would do is make them way less powerful. They should be probably half as strong as they are, or even less. You know, a third as powerful as the fragments are with the levels and stuff. I should I don't know why I buffed out there. I should buff here. I want to maximize the amount of time I have on power within.
Dear little Ocelot, where have you gone? Are you hiding from company? Ocelot!
Yeah, so here's what that does, basically, right? And what I was thinking is max fragments, or at least the soft cap for the fragments at level 12, or whatever, you know, whatever it would be. Why did I rest here? It should be probably 30% attack, around that amount. Where if you're, you know, if you're going out of your way to collect them, you will feel a substantial increase in power with an extra 30% damage. Well, I mean, what is it at the moment, I guess? Gotta be more than that, right? I can't remember what it is, but basically, they should feel like having a strong talisman on. Probably. And that way, if you decide that you're gonna skip them, you know, you're gonna feel the penalty of skipping it, but it's not gonna be so crazy that you're just getting absolutely blasted by everybody, right? And it's almost impossible to beat. But then at the same time, it's strong enough where if you do want to explore, you do get stuck somewhere, you can go get some more, and you're gonna feel more powerful after. That's what the balance should have been. And like, it probably shouldn't have even affected your defense at all, right? It should be a 30% attack boost at the soft cap, and your defense should probably, you know, maybe it can go up a little bit, but it shouldn't be crazy. Like, does anyone have the numbers? Is it 50% attack and 100% defense or something like that you get at max? It's something insane. Or yeah, maybe it's 100% damage multiplier. I don't know. But it's too much. And so, because they are so damn strong, and yeah, people argue that it's similar to getting Estus upgrades in the base game. The reason why it's not is because Estus is not nearly close to as powerful or necessary as getting plus 100% attack, dude. Right? It's just not even close. Okay, yeah, so I had the numbers wrong. So it's 100% damage you get at max fragments. What am I doing? That's just, it's insane. You're getting double damage. And then you're getting 50% defense as well, which is also insane. So it becomes necessary. Because it's necessary, it makes, you know, going to all these little areas, killing some basic enemy, it's just not, you kind of have to do it, and it's not rewarding. Or it's not fun to do compared to killing a side boss or something, right? So yeah, I just think I've talked about this before. I've talked about this so many times, but yeah, the way I think it would be good is 30% attack at maximum, or at the soft cap level 12, and you know, maybe there could be some defense in there too, like maybe 10% defense or 15% defense, something like that. And move the fragments to optional bosses. That's what I would have done, probably. I still don't like the system for the fundamental reason that, you know, forget about the balancing. I don't like that in an RPG you have some character buff that is just like zero downside. It is an all-around buff to your character. I don't really like that. I would much prefer to have to think about my build and what works well in my build and stuff. The fragments just aren't like that at all. That's probably the biggest issue I have with it. There's zero specialization. It's just, I get these and now I'm more powerful. All my numbers are higher, so I'm more powerful. So, yeah, Sekiro does that sort of thing in a pretty good job, but I think it's a different intended experience with that, I would say. Okay, we don't need the prisoner's chain, so I'm gonna get rid of that. 30 attunement. So yeah, that's my opinion on the fragments. I'm actually I was kind of shocked, or maybe I'm not shocked, but there are a lot of people who really like the fragments actually, and it kind of surprises me a little bit. And they think it's perfect, and you know, I remember when I tweeted about it one time, and there are these big discussions on it. I think the reason for that is on a first playthrough, it feels pretty good actually. It feels okay. I mean, other than the overall character upgrade, which I don't like, but the progression of it seemed okay because you don't know where they are. And, you know, you're just going to find them while exploring. For the most part, it's still garbage that they're in these basic enemies that you wouldn't, like... Why are these very important fragments locked behind some meaningless enemy? But anyways, other than that, the progression seems fine, and so you don't really think much about it on a normal playthrough. But then, once you play the DLC again, is when you start to feel the poor design of it, for the most part. I think. And yeah, most people only play once. That is absolutely true. That is true. But yeah, so then the basically the idea is that they think it's like, okay, I didn't really notice it much on my first playthrough. It worked. It seemed fine. Progression seemed fine, so the system is good. If you look at it that way, it's just, that's not a very objective way to look at it, I guess, right? Because that's what I thought the exact same thing after my first playthrough as well. I was like, oh yeah, the fragments, yeah, I didn't really, like, I got most of them. I got to level 19. I missed two, or one. I missed one or two fragments on the whole run. Why are you walking that way? This guy does scare me a little bit. Reach should consider replayability, but that's not even, my main argument isn't even that either. That's not my main problem with them, but it is a problem I have with them for sure, though. But yeah, the main problem is just, like I said, overall power upgrade in an RPG that isn't really... It totally goes against the theme of the game, right? There's so many different builds you can use, so many different talismans, so many different weapons that you can pick to upgrade. It's all about picking and choosing in an RPG, right? And you have to commit to something. I don't like getting overall more powerful like that. It doesn't feel right. We'll go like this, actually. Or I don't think I need Black Fire Orb for anything. Oh, no, wait. I use it on Nameless King. We'll go like this, I guess. So we are going here. Wiser, thanks for the 100 bits, dude. Yeah, Convergence, at least last I played it, was a little bit better with the upgrade system. I should probably play this part safe, huh? Actually, you know what? I'm just going to drain my own HP. So if I do get drained at the end, it's fine. You shouldn't get drained if you go through it like this, but just in case. Because I don't count the drain as a hit unless it actually damages my character. It decreases my actual health, not max HP. Because max HP, it's just a debuff at that point, right? But if it starts to decrease your actual health, then it's damage and it's a hit. So yeah, all that being said, good things about the DLC are it has some absolute top tier bosses in it. Has some insanely cool spells and weapons that they added. Some solid areas too. Like I think Bellarat's pretty good. I think Shadowkeep is pretty solid as well. Maybe not top tier, but pretty decent. Some interesting talismans that they put in the DLC as well. But like most of it's pretty good. I like the catacomb level design as well, especially compared to the base game. Yeah, it's unfortunate that again, the biggest problem I have is with the fragments for sure. That's my big problem with the DLC. And yeah, unfortunately, that affects every single playthrough I do of it. And yeah, and it also is a system that contributes to, like, the thing we were talking about originally here was that Elden Ring is too big. You know, whether or not you're doing all bosses or just trying to do all main bosses, it's too big. And my main point was that the fragments and the setup of the DLC does contribute to that. At least for me. It's not the only reason, obviously, but it is part of it. Makes it longer. Oh yeah, the Enter Illim teleport is just inexcusable, dude. I just don't understand it. I cannot be the only one to think that is just insane, dude. At Elden Ring's map in half and it would be a better game. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I do think how big and grand the game is part of what makes it special, though. So, but yeah, I think arguably the base game is probably a little too big. For me personally, in my opinion, it's not. And I like doing all boss 165 runs and stuff like that. And if, you know, if I want to hit all the main bosses and all the remembrances, that also feels pretty reasonable. Maybe it's a little bit long, but it's still decent. But with the DLC, which is what my main argument was, is that it's way too much now. Because it was already maybe a little bit too big in the base game. This part does scare me, I guess. I forgot about it. I'm just concerned that I throw that skull too far and the guy just rolls at me and I get smoked. I don't know why they both fall off, though. I guess just they roll after the skull. When you want to replay a game, you don't want 150 hours of your life gone. That is fair. It's fair. How do I feel about the dancer teleport? I think it's fine. I like it. That's kind of the thing I wish they had for Enter Ilum, basically. You know, just teleport you in front of the Divine Beast Arena, something like that. You know, and I guess that way, if they just teleported you in front of the Divine Beast Arena, it's good for two possibilities, right? Either you killed Divine Beast and went through Ballarat, or you didn't. And so if you already killed him, then, you know, it's fine. You just go past the boss and you walk up the cool staircase. You take the big elevator up, and it's really sick, right? You get to see Enter Ilum from that staircase. But then if you didn't do Ballarat already, then you have, you know, some alternate route where you could skip the area potentially, and then you could explore it from the top down instead, which I think is cool. Yeah, I think that would have worked pretty well. Okay. That's no way that's high enough. No stun that time. Pretty rare when you're using this kind of build to see any Nameless King phase 2, but he didn't stun, and I kind of misplayed it as well, because I just sat there when I could have done 2 Black Flames, but it's fine. Okay, so Demon Princes folder. Yeah, I think, yeah, Divine Beast could have been mandatory, at least to beat the final boss of the DLC. I think that would have been very reasonable. Compared to only having... What, 3? How many... Wait, so you need to kill Mesmer, you need to kill Romana, and Consort. That's it, right? It's kind of insane that you only need to kill that few bosses to beat the DLC. So yeah, having one more would have been perfectly fine, perfectly reasonable. Yeah, and Leda, I guess, yeah. I had to throw in an NPC fight. And an NPC gank fight. Of course, the FromSoft classic for the final DLC boss. You got Half-Light, you got Leda. Yeah, Jimmy just loves it, dude. And they couldn't have... Like, I would have loved a PvP fight in place of Leda instead. I mean, actual online PvP fight. I would have much preferred that sort of thing. At least just for normal playthroughs, it'd be fun to do some PvP, but... Is that as close as it looked? Nah, that's just a strat there. Perfectly normal. Just maybe want one of those for phase 2. Tank Squad DS2 worse than Leda? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no simply because at least they have some terrain to work with. It's a terrible boss, but you at least have some stuff to work with in that fight. When you're fighting Leda, I mean, you get summons for that, but... I mean, I'm sure there are summons for DS2 as well, but I probably get 2 summons for that boss, I'm guessing. Take it nice and slow. I could do the fast strat for this, but I had some inconsistencies with the stagger in phase 2, so... I didn't... It's just safer to do this one. Give me something I can work with, please. Kind of trolling me a little bit. Dang. We haven't had a fight this slow, I don't think. It's Pyromancy. Be fine. Oh, shit, dude. I really messed it up. Made this fight look hard with this spell. Unfortunately. Most of the time, we kill him, and he can't even get a single attack off, but I was too far away when I started up the first boulder heave, and so we didn't get the cycles for the spinnies. Yeah, not the best fight. Still pretty good though, considering. But yeah, you can definitely get much better fights with this spell than that. I play these games off stream quite a bit, yes. Quite a bit. Yeah, it does kind of suck though because like Boulder Heave is so insane on Demon Princes, and I just didn't really get a good fight there at all. It was, I mean, it was still objectively a good fight relative to any other build in the game, basically, but yeah, Boulder Heave can do better than that. Let's go on Green Wolf. Surely this is... I haven't had this happen yet, so hopefully it's fine. By haven't had this happen yet, I mean it's been several years since I've seen him aggro. So... Usually when this happens, I just run over here and wait for the de-aggro. Should be good.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
TJ, thanks for the 9-month Prime sub, dude. Did it survive that kamikaze guy? What, you mean the guy got hit on last run? Or what do you mean? Well, I did the same thing that I do every other time, which is just run past him. That's all you got to do for him. Nice. Okay, I did miss one there, but I guess it doesn't matter. Not like speed matters on this run anyways, when we're already at the 3-hour mark, but... We have to keep the soul. That'd be very bad if I accidentally used it. Yeah, surely he's dead, dude. No way he survived that. You have to fight Bridge Midir if you want to fight real Midir. There's no way around it. Other than glitches, but yeah, there's a fog wall down here if you don't do that. Okay, surely I'll remember to use the lingering. Like I just haven't been using it on this run at all. Lingering is very nice because you just get... Oh, boy, that's... Just get more duration on Power Within. terrible. Very bad transition there. You know what? That actually didn't turn out too bad because, like, the kill was actually so slow that we ended up getting another power within off because he did laser and stuff. So, actually didn't turn out that bad. Like, sometimes we get really long phase 2s with him with this, but that one, I don't know, I guess we got laser, so I was able to rebuff, and then we got a lot of damage off on the stun, which kind of sped it up a little bit. Okay, Poison Mist. I guess this is another reason why this runs so long. It's because we use like only Poison Mist here. I have no idea what we're going to use for Miracle Run on this fight because the usual strat would just be Dung Pie. I don't really want to use any consumables though. So I have no idea what I'm going to do. I get +3 stamina ring. Now, when you're doing spell builds, your ring slots are basically always the same in this game. You've got Lloyd Sword or Red Tearstone, you have a clutch ring, and then you have the 2 spell boosting rings. So there's no room for anything else. Harry plus Sunlight Spirit? Maybe, dude. I don't know if it'd be fast enough, though. I haven't tried that. Yeah, we might have to spend a significant amount of time testing Miracle Half-Light. Where you don't aggro the second Guardian one. But, like, what would you do once you get there? What spell would you use? I don't think our damage is going to be high enough where we don't need that strat. If parry into Lightning Spear worked, or Lightning, you know, Lightning anything, really. Lightning Stake, Sunlight Spear, something like that. Then it probably is fine. I'm almost definitely going to need Sage Ring for that. But yeah, that could work. Maybe. Because it's just going to deal so much damage, right? It'll probably two-shot him, I'm guessing, if it actually does land. So if it two-shots him, then that's fine. That'll work. But I feel like he's probably too quick getting out of it. I forgot to do this fight multiplayer. Well, instead of this main guy, it's an actual player, and they have those orbs spawning on them. They're also they have scaling based on how many players are coming into the boss. It's actually really fun, dude. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no Toxic Mist on this, and it's simply because I don't use Toxic Mist, or I couldn't really find a good use case for Toxic Mist anywhere else on the run, so... Cast speed ring actually maxes your cast speed in DS3? No, it doesn't. No, it does not. I think Sage ring is a little bit less than max. If I'm not mistaken. No, I don't have slumbering. Hopefully it's fine. I just need to not jog around here. Even if I need to move, I can just slow walk, and that's fine. Doing sorcery, pyro, and miracles only. Which one is the hardest? Which is the easiest? I think pyro is. I don't know yet. I haven't done them all. Sorcery is no doubt has some of the worst boss fights in it. Right? You have so many magic resistant bosses that you need to be. You know, you just have long fights, or you need to be clever to get around it. Pyromancy has basically zero bad boss fights, except for maybe Midir and Gale aren't great with Pyromancy. They're not bad. They're just not insane like every other kill is with it. Miracle will most likely have a lot of really good boss kills in it. But here's the thing with sorcery. It has those bad boss kills, but we have Hidden Body. We have Spook. We have Pestilent Mist instead of Red Tearstone. We have all that stuff, which is really handy. And so, honestly, this run, I think, is harder than that sorcery run I did. Maybe. It's a bit different, but I would rather have easier running sections than easier bosses. And sorcery is still really good on a lot of bosses, right? Even bosses where they're resistant, like Osiros. Sorcery absolutely clapped him still, so... So yeah, I'm not sure which one's the hardest, though. Before doing this, I would have thought sorcery, but yeah, because I'm using Hidden Body on sorcery, it does make it a lot easier. I've only done Bloodborne no hit, any percent. That's all I've done. No, sorcery, no, I don't have any world's first magic run, I don't think. Pretty sure I don't. What's insane on Madeira Gale anyways? Sunlight Straightsword is disgusting on both of them. But yeah, melee builds are definitely better on those bosses. Soul Sinner, my favorite FromSoft boss? No, he's not. He's up there, but not my favorite. Yeah, Sunlight Straightsword on that route with Power Within and Sunlight Blade, that just totally decimates those two bosses. Twin Blades do, of course, as well. Like, most melee weapons are good on those bosses, I think. Maybe not most, but just a good no-hit melee build will do much better than pretty much any spell build on those two guys. That Power Within with Twin Blade, it wasn't that different than Sunlight Straightsword. Like, wasn't that different in what way? The damage amounts? I mean, Twin Blades with Sunlight Straight Sword should be a little bit better, but yeah, so, like, Sunlight Straight Sword and Sellsword Twin Blades are probably the best no-hit weapons in the game, I think. At least when you're using Sunlight Straight Sword with Sunlight Blade or Lightning Blade, that is basically the requirement. Because if you're not, then Sunlight Straight Sword, honestly, not that good. It's not special in any way if you're not using it with some sort of weapon buff on top. Probably go level up some endurance, right? Tim, have a good night, dude. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, favorite definitely matter, dude. Yeah, nailed it. True. I don't know, but maybe I should have used Toxic Mist on Gale here. It probably would be worth it, but it's too late now anyways. Teeth and Chaos. That's for Gravetender.
Ashen one.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you know, Toxic Mist makes pyromancies on... I'm pretty much only going to use Great Combustion here, so I'll just take Great Chaos Fire Orb. But yeah, Toxic Mist is very good on Gale. But I don't know, dude. The way I like to do Gale is to try to get Phase 2 done as quickly as possible. And if I'm using Toxic Mist, it can make things take a little bit longer, because that's the dangerous phase, right? I mean, like, Gale's cape is dangerous, and some of his projectiles and stuff, maybe, but Phase 2 crossbow is probably the scariest thing. So I kind of just want to get it over with, so I don't really want to sit there trying to Toxic him, even though it actually doesn't really take that long. I didn't put Lingering on, of course. Went all the way to get it, and I've only used it, I think, once. There's a random lightning right behind me there. I heard it and I saw it. Like, I saw it out of the corner of my screen, maybe. Don't really like that so much. Okay. We have Seething Chaos. Let's just maybe get down there first and then I'll swap. Or, I guess it doesn't matter. So, I want to go... something like this. I wouldn't mind having Catch Flame, but I'll just be patient with the wolves if they don't die. We have skulls. Some more endurance too. More endurance helps our boulder heave stun locks. So.
Ashen one.
And everything should be set up for Frida as well. Yeah, illegal Estus canceled, dude. Yeah, it's kind of nice not having to do this whole running section right at the end of a run. This one's still a little bit sketchy. Poison Breath Strat, not good for Gale. I think it would be. I was just saying that earlier. It probably is worth getting Toxic Mist for Gale phase 2, but I was just saying I do like phase 2 Gale for no hit is the most dangerous part. So I do like getting it over with quickly and not sitting around trying to Toxic Mist him, you know? I think I normally roller cover there and I didn't. It was kind of scary. Yeah, it would be nice to have another spell slot for this fight. And you know what? Maybe I should buy the Saint's Ring or something like that so that I can do that and I could just take it off once we kill the wolves or something. Yeah, or Deep Ring. Yeah, that's true. Either one. Not my best skull throw. It's not ideal. It's the exact situation why I would like to have Great Combustion. Because Great Chaos Fire was a little slow. I have to be very picky with when I go for one here. Oh, this damn wolves is insane, dude. It's reminding me of like some super low damage runs where I like it takes me a good few hits to kill these guys. Yes, Great Combustion definitely would have made this a lot easier. I think if I have to attempt this again, then I will probably go with that. I mean, really, the only reason I have Great Chaos Fire Orb is for the big wolf anyways, so I could just go Great Combustion for that wolf. Be patient here, though. On any rush. Yeah, I don't have enough spell slots for it. And I'm in this spot, but Grave Tender's a little too close. Yeah, because I need Seething Chaos, and I need... Please run through that. Oh my god, how do you not run in that, dude? It's actually kind of not good that I hit Grave Tender, too. Because we don't want to be forcing phase 2 accidentally here. This is actually so funny, dude. Like, if I had melee, this would have been done ages ago. Maybe we could have gone there, I guess. We got him? But yeah, with a slow spell, it makes it a lot trickier. Probably want to get Lingering on. Do this, we do this. Too far. Okay. Yeah, the strat is really good, isn't it, dude? Beautiful. Okay, so we go Sacred Flame, Boulder Heave, and Great Chaos Fire Orb. I usually don't like leaving Frida for last because she's one of the more dangerous bosses in the run. Even on Pyro, we do have a really good kill, but still potentially dangerous. Actually supposed to go with the Boulder Heave, or this one here. Frida does sketch me out when I'm using spells. So those big jumps. Just like constant input reading. He's totally bugging, dude. That's how you do that fight. Simple. I'm very happy she gave us the like full stun lock phase 3. It is RNG because she can potentially dash out of it, but it's pretty consistent actually. All right, dude. One more to go. Yeah, Pyromancy is pretty good, dude. It is unfortunate that I didn't end up getting the really good Demon Prince kill. Because it really is so disgusting, right? Like, if you get the cycles correct, he basically just can't move the whole fight. In phase 2, that is. I'm just gonna wait for this again. I'm a coward. Even though even if I ran here, it can't even hit you as long as you hug the right side, but... Alright, ODK. It is your unlucky day. Alright, GG's, dude. Simple. All bosses no hit pyro only. A little bit longer than the sorcery, but I should have, I mean, I should have done this first try, but that goddamn kamikaze dude smoked me because I went for a free aim that I missed, but yeah, very clean, dude. Just trying to think if anything was bad on this run. Not really. Pyro's pretty much easy mode in this game, dude. I thought, coming into this, I thought it was going to be... not good in the DLC. I knew it was really good in the base game. I thought it was going to be weaker in the DLC, but I was just totally wrong, dude. Relative to other spell types, at least relative to sorcery, which is the only other spell one I've done. Like, I haven't done Miracle yet, but compared to sorcery, Pyro in the DLC is just insane, dude. I do think Midir and Gale aren't super strong for Pyro. Although Gale, if I'm using Toxic Mist it is, and Great Combustion is still actually pretty good on him. But it's nothing crazy. But for Grave Tender, Frida, Demon Princes, like Boulder Heave mainly is just absolutely busted, dude. So. All right, well, there we go, dude. Simple. Also, I think my chat broke again. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but anyways, yeah, GG's, you guys. This run was pretty damn slow. Like, I think because I went back to level up a lot more times, but the route wasn't quite as dialed in as the sorcery was. But, and you know what's actually great too is that this is the run where my cat, you know, jumped on my shoulder a few times. So this is gonna be a good video, dude. I think it's actually perfect. And yeah, I gotta go soon. Actually, I finished the run at basically the perfect time, dude. 3:30. Hey, wait, can I even type in chat now though? Just gonna restart my chat really quick, I guess. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, that's a fun run, dude. Pyromancy is really damn good, but it is slow. That's the problem, I guess. Although arguably doing that pyro route, if you include hidden body, then it's probably one of the safest routes you could possibly do for all bosses in this game. The only concern is the pace. It's damn slow, dude. And yeah, you could do it much faster than that as well. But getting sub like 240 would be pretty tough. Whereas with melee, getting sub 2 hours is actually very simple to do, you know? But anyways, yeah, thanks for hanging out, you guys. Another run in the books. I'm still pretty consistent at DS3, dude. Even all these years later, I guess. Because that last run should have been a no-hit run as well, but it just wasn't, so. All right, let's raid someone. Yeah, I guess people are playing Night Rain for the new boss. Let's raid who? Let's raid Lobos, dude. He's doing the new Everdark boss. If you wanna see my fights against him, you can go earlier in the stream. And for I did 3 runs of the new Everdark boss, Everdark Augur. My opinion on it, the boss is okay. It's better than I thought based on the expectations people were giving me. People were saying it was like the worst boss they've ever made or something. It's definitely not. But my main takeaway with it is that it's weird in a game like this, in a game like Night Rain, to have an ending boss where half your build is completely irrelevant, right? Because they give you the weapon. They give you a storm ruler that you basically have to use. So it's very weird that, you know, you get your build, you get legendary weapons and stuff. And the second run I did was insane. We had so many legendaries, and I had an insane build with Raider, but it just didn't matter because you have to use storm ruler on the boss anyways, you know? I don't like that part. But the rest of it, I think, it's just pretty mid. But anyways, go say hi to Lobos, you guys. I will be back on tomorrow. We're gonna do some Night Rain, probably route some miracles as well. I'm really excited for miracles, dude. It's gonna be awesome. Miracles are probably my favorite. Everyone knows I like the faith builds, but yeah, probably some miracles, and then we will do Night Rain later with Potastic. We're gonna do some duo runs. It'll be pretty fun. So, anyways, yeah, have a good rest of your day, you guys, day or night, and I'll see you guys next stream.